kill the echo. Swallow the sound. Walls aligned with heavy acoustic foam. Welcome to the absolute and silent home. Every single reflection is stripped away. Nothing that you shout is ever gonna stay. Sound waves die in the moment they leave the lip, sinking completely like a heavy iron ship. Swallowed by the geometry of the dark, leaving absolutely no audio mark. Zero reverberation inside the heavy space. Total isolation in this hidden place. Caught inside the anechoic chamber tonight, swallowing the sound and killing the light. Heavy frequencies directly to the heavy brain, washing out the echo and the heavy pain. No sound bouncing perfectly off the wall, waiting for the final in the silent fall. Anechoic. Dead silence, no reflection. Quiet enough to hear the heavy blood flow, taking every frequency extremely low. Heartbeat sounding like a massive heavy drum, waiting for the absolute midnight to come. The void is eating everything that we create, surrendering completely to the silent fate. No one ever hears the heavy things we do, just the heavy bass line connecting me to you. Zero reverberation inside the heavy space. Total isolation in this hidden place. Caught inside the anechoic chamber tonight, swallowing the sound and killing the light. Heavy frequencies directly to the heavy brain, washing out the echo and the heavy pain. No sound bouncing perfectly off the wall, waiting for the final in the silent fall. No echo, no return, just the direct frequency. Listen closely. Caught inside the anechoic chamber tonight, swallowing the sound and killing the light. Heavy frequencies directly to the heavy brain, washing out the echo and the heavy pain. No sound bouncing perfectly off the wall, waiting for the final and the silent fall. Anechoic. No echo. Swallow the sound. Lock the vault, seal it in lead. Heavy steel doors are closing in the dark, containing perfectly the heavy midnight spark. Walls are constructed out of solid heavy lead, keeping the frequency right inside the bed. No radiation leaking out into the night, burying entirely the heavy fading light. Warning lights are flashing in a steady red, listening to the heavy things that we just said. Securing perfectly the heavy midnight zone, leaving this volatile energy completely alone. Caught inside the heavy containment tonight, locking up the rest of the heavy fading light. Zero contamination in the heavy air, trapped inside the center of the velvet layer. Maximum security for the heavy sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. Containment, total lockdown, maximum hold. Pressure is building up against the heavy glass, watching the silent heavy hours slowly pass. Senses are tracking every heavy little move, falling entirely in the midnight groove. Airlock engaging with the heavy solid click, magic disappearing with the final heavy trick. No one is authorized to open up the door, living entirely on the heavy solid floor. Securing perfectly the heavy midnight zone, leaving this volatile energy completely alone. Caught inside the heavy containment tonight, locking out the rest of the heavy fading light. Zero contamination in the heavy air, trapped inside the center of the velvet layer. Maximum security for the heavy sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. Seal is tight, no leakage, just the heavy pressure. Do not open. Containment tonight, locking out the rest of the heavy fading light. Zero contamination in the heavy air, trapped inside the center of the velvet layer. Maximum security for the heavy sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. Containment, lockdown, seal the door. Pull the plug, kill the lights. Neon signs are dying heavy on the street, cutting off the power in the midnight heat. Screens are going black entirely in the room, welcoming the heavy in the sudden gloom. City grid completely failing in the dark, leaving absolutely no electric spark. Silence dropping heavy on the concrete floor, no one operates the heavy, heavy door. Shutting down the heavy infrastructure tonight, taking out the final artificial light. Caught inside the heavy midnight blackout now, taking off the heavy and the velvet crown. Zero electricity inside the vein, washing out the memory and the heavy pain. Navigating strictly by the heavy sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. Blackout, blackout, total dark, power grid is down. Sirens completely quiet in the empty space, nothing illuminates this hidden place. Moving through the shadows with the perfect grace, time is slowing down entirely in pace. Generators failing in the heavy deep, promises the heavy darkness gonna keep. Fingertips are tracing every heavy line, mixing up your midnight energy with mine. Shutting down the heavy infrastructure tonight, taking out the final artificial. Out the memory and the heavy pain, navigating strictly by the heavy sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. No power, no vision, just the heavy bassline. Stay in the dark. Taking off the heavy the solid ground. Blackout. Cut the power. Fade to black. Standing tall, unbreakable stone. Carved completely out of heavy solid black. Never bending down and never looking back. Standing absolutely still inside the void. Every other fragile structure is destroyed. Surface polished to a perfect heavy shine, drawing out the absolute and final line. Gravity is anchoring this heavy core. Shadows stretching perfectly across the floor. Nothing in this universe can move the weight. Standing as the master of the midnight fade. Rising like a heavy monolith tonight, blocking out the final trace of fading light. Cold and unaffected by the passing time. Standing at the summit of the perfect climb. A monument of heavy and absolute dark, leaving a permanent and massive mark. Monolith. Do not try to move it. Solid black. Stones are breaking heavily against the wall, waiting for this massive architecture to fall. But it remains entirely and perfectly still, yielding absolutely to the midnight will. Zero hesitation in the heavy stance, watching the entire heavy shadow dance, dominating fully this empty space. The absolute ruler of the hidden place. Nothing in this universe can move the weight. Standing as the master of the midnight fade. Absolute dark, leaving a permanent and massive mark. Look up, it reaches the sky, perfectly still, unmovable. Permanent and massive mark. Monolith. Solid stone. Standing forever. Sweetest poison on my lips, moving steady with the hips, intoxicating chemistry, taking over all of me, running straight into the vein, pleasure mixing up with pain, no antidote to be found, tied up and totally bound. I know it is dangerous, but it is only the two of us. Watch the venom take control. Running with the venom now, we will break every vow. Lethal dose of heavy sound, bury me deep underground, spreading through the system fast. a slur. Rumors spinning left and right, swallowed up by the night. Heartbeat racing like a drum, making the entire body numb. Toxin flowing in the blood, sweeping through me like a flood. I know it is dangerous, but it is only the two of us. Watch the venom take control. Running with the venom now, we will break every vow. Lethal dose of heavy sound, bury me deep underground, spreading through the system fast, making sure the feeling lasts. It is in my mind, it is in my soul. I do not want the cure, just give me more. Running with the venom now, we will break every vow. Lethal dose of heavy sound, bury me deep underground, spreading through the system fast, making sure the feeling lasts. Venom through the venom, through the vein. Drop one drop, drop one drop. Watch the clock. The seconds are freezing. Pendulum is completely stopping in the air, hanging in the heavy dark without a single care. Moving through the space, exactly like the clay, washing all the normal flow of time away. Every single second stretching to an hour, yielding entirely to the heavy midnight power. Watching a single drop of water slowly fall, trapped inside the center of the silent hall. Reality is bending in the heavy atmosphere. Time is completely vanishing right out of here. Caught inside the heavy time stretch tonight, blurring all the edges of the fading light. Everything is moving in a slow motion blur, listening to the heavy in the midnight purr. Living in the margin of a single heavy beat, totally consumed inside the midnight heat. Time, stretch, slow it down, make it last forever. Dial on the watch is completely standing still, surrendering everything to the heavy midnight will. Air is getting incredibly thick to navigate, pushing us deeply into the altered state. Walking in a dream where the physics do not apply, watching the slow motion world passing by. Zero expectation for the morning to arrive. This is exactly how we keep the dark alive. Reality is bending in a heavy atmosphere. Time is completely vanishing right out of here. Caught inside the heavy time stretch tonight, blurring all the edges of the fading light. Everything is moving in a slow motion blur, listen to the heavy in the midnight purr. Living in the margin of a single heavy beat, totally consumed inside the midnight heat. 1 second, 2 seconds. It feels like an eternity. Do not rush the dark. all the edges of the fading light. Everything is moving in the slow motion blur. Listen to the heavy in the midnight purr. Living in the margin of a single heavy beat, totally consumed inside the midnight heat. Time, stretch, slow motion. Stop the clock. Erase it all. Leave absolutely nothing behind. Deleting every signal from the heavy grid, hiding every single little thing we did. Entering the center of the empty space, leaving out a single solitary trace. Colors fading out into a total black, knowing that we never are returning back. Frequencies are dropping to the bottom floor, shutting and locking the absolute final door. Reaching for the ultimate and silent end. Nothing left to break and nothing left to mend. Welcome to the middle of the heavy no, where the midnight energy is totally full. Zero gravity and zero heavy light, fading out completely in the velvet night. Lost inside the beautiful and heavy void. Every other frequency is now destroyed. No, 0 point total reset. 0 point total reset. Memory completely wiped from the machine, entering a place that we have never seen. Silence is the only thing we understand, walking on a dark and undiscovered land. Rhythm is the only heartbeat in the room, blooming perfectly inside the midnight gloom. Stripping every layer right down to the bone, sitting in the heavy dark entirely alone. Reaching for the ultimate and silent end. Nothing left to break and nothing left to mend. Welcome to the middle of the heavy no, where the midnight energy is totally full. Zero gravity and zero heavy light, fading out completely in the velvet night. Lost inside the beautiful and heavy void. Every other frequency is now destroyed. System shutting down. Everything is gone. Just a heavy bass. Welcome to the void. Welcome to the middle of the heavy no, where the midnight energy is totally full. Zero gravity and zero heavy light, fading out completely in the velvet night. Lost inside the beautiful and heavy void. Every other frequency is now destroyed. No, nothing left. Total silence. Feel the rhythm right under the skin. Fingers pressing right against the vein, driving my heavy mind totally insane. Accelerating in the pitch black dark, lighting up the vital primal spark. Echoes bouncing off the bedroom wall, waiting for the absolute final fall. Blood is rushing like a tidal wave, nothing left in here for us to save. Heartbeat sinking to the heavy bass, taking over this entire space. Check the heavy pulse rate tonight. Rhythm taking absolutely full control, ripping right through the empty soul, banging heavily on the heaven's gate, giving incompletely to our fate. Pulse rate beating faster through the chest. Sweat is mixing with the heavy sand, wondering exactly where the hours went. Chest is rising to the 808, moving far beyond the normal state, slipping deeper in the undertow. Where we end up, we do not even know. Tension wrapping like a heavy chain, pleasure bleeding right into the pain. Heartbeat sinking to the heavy bass, taking over this entire space. Check the heavy pulse rate tonight, blurring out the line of wrong and right. Rhythm taking absolutely full control, ripping right through the empty soul, banging heavily on the heaven's gate, giving incompletely to our fate. Faster, can you feel it? Beating out of my chest, hold it down for me. Check the heavy pulse rate tonight. Check the heavy pulse rate tonight. Right. Rhythm taking absolutely full control, ripping right through the empty soul, banging heavily on the heaven's gate, giving incompletely to our fate. Pulse rate through the veins, keep it beating. Lock the door, turn the lights down. Velvet shadows all across the floor. We've been here 1,000 times before. Every time you look at me like that, there is no turning back. Moving in slow motion, drinking up the potion, sinking to the dark with me, drowning in this energy. Skin on skin, nowhere to hide. Let the rhythm be your guide, just let it glide. Heavy breathing in the atmosphere, nothing else matters when you're here. Take your time, let the tension grow. Let the current pull us below. Moving in slow motion, drinking up the potion, sinking to the dark with me, drowning in this energy. Skin on skin, nowhere to hide. Let the rhythm be your guide. exactly where you are. Let the bass take over. Just let it glide into the dark. Lock the door. Turn the lights down. Closer. Come a little closer. Tracing lines across your chest, putting my demons to the test. Shadows dancing on the wall, waiting for the final fall. No more space between us now, breaking every silent vow. Heat is rising in the dark, igniting every single spark, stripping away all the pride. Nowhere left for us to hide. More than just skin deep, promises we cannot keep. Tangled up inside the wire, burning in this quiet fire. Feeling every single breath. Loving you to death. Quiet fire, skin deep. Feel the burn. Fingertips are reading minds, leaving all the rules behind. Sinking to the heavy beat, turning up the midnight heat. Every shiver down the spine tells me that you are purely mine. No more words left to exchange. Everything is rearranged, stripping away all the pride. Nowhere left for us to hide. More than just skin deep, deep. Promises we cannot keep. Tangled up inside the wire, burning in this quiet fire. Feeling every single breath. Loving you to death. Peel back the layers, down to the core. Seal the heavy door. Extract the air. Oxygen is pulled entirely from the room, fading out the heavy flowers before they bloom. Pressure dropping down to the absolute zero. We do not need a rescue, we do not need a hero. Walls are closing in, but we do not feel a thing. Cutting off the air before the bird can sing. Sealed inside a box made of heavy dark glass, waiting for the midnight hours beautifully to pass. Atmosphere is thinning completely away. Nothing left for the outside world to say. Trapped inside the heavy vacuum tonight, sucking up the heavy in the blinding light. No more air to carry the heavy sound, floating miles above the solid ground. Breathing in the absolute and total empty space. Locked forever in this isolated place. Vacuum. Zero air. Perfect seal. Lungs are completely useless in the heavy void. Every single earthly connection is destroyed. Moving lips, but there is absolutely no sound. Only the vibration strictly from the underground. Skin is getting cold in the heavy vacuum seal. This is exactly how the absolute nothing feels. Disconnected from the entire human race, floating beautifully in the empty outer space. Atmosphere is thinning completely away. Nothing left for the outside world to say. Trapped inside the heavy vacuum tonight, sucking out the heavy in the blinding light. No more air to carry the heavy sound, floating miles above the solid ground. Breathing in the absolute and total empty space. Locked forever in this isolated place. No resistance, no oxygen, just the empty space. Do not panic. Isolated, complete silence. Count backwards from 10. Let the numbness take over. Cold liquid running directly into the vein, erasing the memory, erasing the pain, losing sensation right down to the fingertip. Silence is hanging heavily on the lip. Temperature dropping inside the sterile room, wrapped up beautifully in the midnight gloom. No more reacting to the heavy outside noise, listening only to the solitary voice. System is shutting down without a single fight, entirely into the velvet night. drifting away inside the anesthesia tonight, far away from the heavy and blinding lights. Zero emotion left inside the heavy shell, living perfectly inside this silent spell. Numb to the core from the heavy dark sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. Anesthesia. Total disconnect, zero feeling. Heartbeat is slowing exactly to the base, a perfect emptiness inside this heavy space. No more anxiety and no more heavy fear. Nothing can touch us as long as we are here. Paralyzed completely in a beautiful way, washing the absolute reality away, floating like a ghost above the heavy bed. Silence in the chaos right inside the head. System is shutting down without a single fight, fading entirely into the velvet night, drifting away inside the anesthesia tonight, far away from the heavy and blinding light. Zero emotion left inside the heavy shell, living perfectly inside this silent spell. Numb to the core from the heavy dark sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. 10, 9, 8. You are completely numb now. Just the bass. Drifting away inside the anesthesia tonight, far away from the heavy and blinding lights. Zero emotion left inside the heavy shell, living perfectly inside this silent spell. Numb to the core from the heavy dark sound, safely buried underneath the solid ground. Anesthesia. Completely numb. Sleep now. Sleep now. Drop your weapons. There is no fight left. White flag waving slowly in the night, too exhausted for another heavy fight. Dropping all the armor right onto the floor. I am not defending anything anymore. Shadows creeping up across the heavy bed, silencing the voices inside of my head. Every single wall is crashing to the ground, getting buried entirely by the sound. No resistance left inside my heavy bones, entering the deepest of the unknown zones. Sweet surrender to the heavy dark tonight, letting go of everything, giving up the fight, invading my entire personal space, slipping totally into the heavy bass. Take complete control of every single move, melting down completely in the midnight groove. Absolute surrender. Give it up. Giving. Ego stripping away layer by layer. No one listening to the midnight prayer. Binding both my hands without a heavy chain, washing out the memory in the midnight rain. Losing all control feels incredibly right, fading out permanently from the light. Trusting you entirely with the heavy fall, ready to let you consume it all. deepest of the unknown zone. Sweet surrender to the heavy dark tonight. Letting go of everything, giving up the fight. Invading my entire personal space. Slipping totally into the heavy bass. Take complete control of every single move. Melting down completely in the midnight groove. I give up. It is all yours. Do whatever you want with me. I surrender. Sweet surrender to the heavy dark tonight. Letting go of everything, giving up the fight. Invading my entire personal space. Slipping totally into the heavy bass. Take complete control of every single move. Melting down completely in the midnight groove. Surrender. Absolute. I am yours. Too hot in here. Watch it all dissolve. Temperature is rising up to the roof. We do not need to look for any proof. Solid edges starting to blur away. Nothing is going to remain the same today. Ice is dripping slowly down the glass. Watching the heavy midnight hour pass. Moving like water across the room. Chasing away all the heavy gloom. Changing the state from solid to pure fluid. We always know exactly how to do it. Watch me melt into the dark with you. Nothing else that I would rather do. Heavy drops falling on the heated floor. Always leaving me begging for some more. Liquid state of mind taking control. Washing over my entire soul. Watch me melt, 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 melt. Melting down. So fluid. Sweat is shining in the purple light. Losing all the sense of wrong and right. Pouring heavy like the midnight rain. Washing away every single stain. Fingertips are gliding across the skin. Tell me exactly where do we begin. Flowing together into a single stream. Living inside this lucid heavy dream. Changing the state from solid to pure fluid. We always know exactly how to do it. Melt into the dark with you. Nothing else that I would rather do. Heavy drops falling on the heated floor. Always leaving me begging for some more. Liquid state of mind taking control. Washing over my entire soul. Dissolve with me. No more boundaries, just a flow, flow, flow. Everywhere I look, I see you. Glass upon the ceiling, glass upon the wall, catching every angle as the shadows fall, multiplying slowly in the velvet night, fading out the last remaining drop of light. Watching every movement in the heavy room, blooming like the dark flower in the gloom. Every single surface showing me the truth, drowning in the middle of our wasted youth. Trapped inside an infinite design, mixing up your heavy soul with mine. Caught inside the mirrors on the wall, watching every single heavy shadow fall. Infinite reflections in the dark, leaving an unforgettable mark. Seeing everything we try to hide, nowhere in this heavy room to hide. Mirrors, infinite, watch us move. Fogging up the surface with the heavy breath, loving this intensity right to the death. Cold against the skin but burning up inside, riding on the rhythm of the midnight tide. 1,000 different versions of the same mistake, willing to risk it all for goodness sake. Eyes are locking deeply in the looking glass, waiting for the heavy midnight hour to pass. Trapped inside an infinite design, mixing up your heavy soul with mine. Caught inside the mirrors on the wall, watching every single heavy shadow fall. Infinite reflections in the dark, leaving an unforgettable mark. Seeing everything we try to hide, nowhere in this heavy room to hide. Look at us, 100 times over. You cannot escape the view. Just watch. Inside the mirrors on the wall, watching every single heavy shadow fall. Infinite reflections in the dark, leaving an unforgettable mark. Seeing everything we try to hide, nowhere in this heavy room to hide. Mirrors, everywhere I look, infinite. Pull me back in. Yeah. Pull me back in. Midnight dripping down the glass, moving slow, we don't need to go fast. Every touch is a heavy dose. Love it the most when you pull me close. I know it's toxic, but it feels so right. Losing our minds in the purple light. Intoxicated. taking me on that midnight ride, midnight ride, midnight ride, midnight ride. Your shadow blending into mine, sipping the danger like it's vintage wine. A whisper on my collarbone, making me forget my way back home. Intoxicated by your frequency, you're pouring through my chemistry. No way out, I'm locked inside, taking me on that midnight ride. Don't sober up, don't sober up. Keep pulling me under, 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 under. I'm intoxicated, intoxicated. I'm burning up. Can you feel the heat? Temperature's running way too high. There is no use trying to deny. Sweat is shining in the purple light. We are getting totally lost tonight. Room is feeling like an open fire, giving in to the absolute desire. Every breath is hotter than before, leaving me always begging for some more. Thermometer is breaking on the ground, drowning in the heavy, distorted sound. Caught inside this heavy fever dream, nothing is exactly what it would seem. Delirious and melting to the core, making sure we never reach the shore. Keep the fever running through the night. Everything is feeling way too right. Vision getting completely blurry now. Sweat is dripping slowly off the brow, melting down exactly like the wax. No more holding any of it back. Shadows dancing wildly in the heat, sinking perfectly to the heavy beat. Logic is erased from my heavy mind, leaving every single rational thought behind. Thermometer is breaking on the ground, drowning in the heavy, distorted sound. Caught inside this heavy fever dream, nothing is exactly what it would seem. Delirious and melting to the core, making sure we never